What is up? It is Big Char Trades back with another video, and in this video I am going to be recapping my trade from this morning. I caught like $6,800 across all my accounts. It's like 44 points. I made like 880 across both of my Alpha Future 150Ks, and then I made like 830 across 5 of my Top Step 150Ks, and then I made like 925 on my Funded Futures 50K. So with that being said, this was a nice trade. It was a 3R trade. I did enter pre-market because the setup was there and the risk was minimal. So let me just get into the trade for you guys. So this was the trade. My entry was right here. Stop went at this low, and then my final TP was London highs. As you can see, that got hit. The reason why I closed this trade early, right? I was going to go break even here, but I ended up closing this trade because we had some bearish SMT at this high. As you can see from this chart, I mean, we just ran through it. Unfortunately for me, I closed a position a little bit early when I could have secured a bit more profits. But that's honestly okay with me. I'm happy with today. Made like $6,800 across my account. So let's get into the trade. On the daily time frame, we did not have any bullish SMT, but we do have this daily bullish fair value gap telling me that price wants to go higher. Now dropping down to the 4-hour, we were also trading inside of this 4-hour gap as well. Again, we did not have any SMT inside this gap, but we were respecting the CE pretty well. As you can see, we did not close below the consequent encroachment of this 4-hour fair value gap. Dropping down to the 1-hour, we did have some bullish SMT, but we also had bearish SMT. So it was kind of difficult for me to use the 1-hour SMT as a confluence in this trade. But as you can see, the NASDAQ clearly swept this low, whereas on the ES, it did not, as you can see right here. So that's some bullish SMT. But again, we did have bearish SMT. Like as you can see right here, the NASDAQ made a higher high, whereas the ES made a lower high. Again, it is because it is a no news Monday. This week we only have red folder news on Thursday, so that is most likely why price was putting in SMT on both sides of the range. But that being said, dropping down to the 15-minute time frame, as you can see right here, the NASDAQ clearly swept Asia lows, whereas ES didn't. Now, this is some bullish SMT that I use to frame this trade. Typically, when we have an SMT at a session high or low, that is a pretty meaningful confluence, right? Since the NASDAQ swept this low and then inversed this 5-minute bullish or bearish fair value gap, I wanted a long out of here. So I entered right here at 238, and my stop went at this protected low, the low that the SMT was put in on, and just the low, this swing low. This was like, I had 14 points of risk, so I used one mini. So what is that? That is 14 times 20. That's like $280 of risk on a 150K account, which is nothing. That is like 0.025% of risk. So that is another reason why I was willing to put on this trade. I honestly, looking back at this trade, I could have done a little bit differently. I could have just gone break even here. Instead of taking profits there. But the reason why I took profits there was because of that bearish SMT. Typically, whenever a bearish SMT gets put in on like the 15-minute time frame, especially at a high like this, I am pretty wary of it reversing on me. So I'd rather close a position early, take those profits, and let the bearish SMT do its thing, then hold through it and get stopped out. So I could have done that differently, and I also could have sized a little bit heavier into this trade. Again, I only used one mini on an 150K account with $280 of risk. I would have been willing to put another mini on for $560 of risk, and I would have made a little bit more. I would have had like a 12K day. But, happy with today. No complaints. This trade took like 3 minutes to play out. And yeah, this was a good trade. Great start to the week. Happy Monday. And with that being said, I mean, there's no red folder news until Thursday, so I can expect this week to be a little bit slower. But regardless, nice trade. Let me know in the comments below if you took the same trade as me, or if you took a different one, or if you have any questions at all. I literally read all my comments. So if you have anything to say, just let me know. I'm a little sick right now if you couldn't tell from my voice, but with that being said, subscribe if you're new or if you feel like it, whatever. I'm not going to tell you what to do. Also, feel free to like the video as well. And you can follow me on my other socials if you feel like it. But with that being said, peace out. This concludes today's trade recap, and I will see you in the next one.